What is up? Work here. In this video, we're going to be checking out, well, the Shadowmoon Burial Grounds 19 fortified. Pretty easy. This is a full guild group, but, I think we just got AOTC and certainly Rack. And I think everyone but me here is timing 20s. I still have yet to time a 20. I still end up screwing something up and like missing it by a minute or two. It'll happen though. But specifically, Zeth, our priest, is running disc. So after the new 10.05 update, he wanted to check that out. So he's running like kind of a new spec, new build, and he's still getting used to it. And then Rack, who I think in the last video I made, he was playing Frost. And in Raid, certainly plays Arcane, is now playing Fire, which I like Fire a lot. So I'm kind of like, oh, that's cool. I'll stand right on top of you, Mr. Fire Mage. And then Gore is one of our raid tanks, and he normally is like Fury Warrior, but he also has like a pretty well geared main alt, this Enhanced Shaman. So it's kind of like we're kind of like messing around. So the Demon Hunters are real fast, and I think it looks like Rack the Mage tried to run by, pulled aggro, but then greater invised to make it out. And so we're just, the slow ones, we're just chilling in the back here. And, there's not going to be a ton to talk about on this dungeon. It's like way, way easier than all the other ones. Like we have, I think, like a 20 AA, a 19 AA, and then a 20 and 19 Azure Vaults. And this is fortified bolstering. And our tank is like, no, thank you on either one of those dungeons. So someone luckily had one of these, and we have a quarter stars we do after this quite fine, even with a couple mess ups. Even in this dungeon, we mess up a little bit. They're obviously very free at 1920 with any amount of gear like this. I think I'm 412, 413, and I think everyone else is pretty close to that, if not higher. I don't remember. One thing I would say that I've been learning about dungeons, and especially running with this tank specifically, is he's very fast, and he's a demon hunter. I've played Vengeance Demon Hunter too, and like you just zip way fast, and you're way ahead of the pack usually, or like the group, and especially if the healer's a priest too, not an Ardruid. And me as a hunter, I don't want to body pull the trash in front of us. Also, look at all these tornadoes. I was like super complaining this entire time, this pull that I just like can't get to you. Sorry, there's not like a lot of kicks, but I was like, we're a little bit low on kicks in this group, so like I kind of need to be there. But what I wanted to say is that I'm finding it more and more important. This is something I'm mindful of, is trying to stay with the group, if not slightly ahead, while not pulling trash. Because again, it might be because Alindra here is a Vengeance and is like super fast. I feel like I'm always like 5 or like sometimes even later to the pulse, to the packs. Like I am not with the group all the time because I'm like a hunter and playing back and being ranged. And always I'm missing like 5 seconds of uptime, and I kind of coming in hot and fast, and I feel like I get kind of like slightly flustered a little bit because I come in late because I'm not there at like the initial pull. And there's always like that little tiny note over voice comms in the beginning of like, okay, I'm on this, you're on this, you're on this, and I'm like, I'm not even there yet, and I'm like, oh crap, which one am I supposed to be doing? And I'm still getting used to being DPS in like organized Mythic Plus groups where like, yeah, if you miss your kick that you're assigned, someone dies. So that's still something I'm like kind of getting used to. But it's even worse for me if if I'm late to the pull. So it's something I'm watching these replays back on, and I'm like, why do I suck? Like, what's going on here? And yeah, why do I still like, I've done these dungeons before, I still feel kind of like I don't know. I think you a lot. I'm pretty sure a lot of the people in this group, I'm just from like context from like what I've heard them talk about, they've been playing together for like years, like since like BFA, like Legion, like for almost longer than I've been playing WoW. I think they've been playing together, so and doing Mythic Plus, so you certainly get like really used to it after like 10,000th or whatever Mythic Plus run, where you need to kick and you need to know what's going on. So maybe I'm a tiny bit new still, like in that context. But yeah, as we get into like the 20s and higher, like missing kicks is bad, and you certainly have to have everything very memorized. It's pretty bad to wing it, and I'm still kind of like a winging it kind of hunter DPS person. Just little thing that I noticed in this dungeon specifically, I was too slow to make it past the patrol, missed that entire trash pack, and then when we went downstairs, I was also late to the party, and I got stuck behind tornadoes. And it's happened to me on more and more, even pug groups. I pugged like a 18 AA, I think, and we had like a 420 monk or something like that, fully carrying like their guild or something like that, and I just got brought in for lust probably, something like that, in a pug. And they were flying. I could not keep up with them. And they would do like, there's like this specific pull you do in the beginning of AA, in that hallway where you like skip the big rock patrol. And it was this really specific route that they're on voice comms and I'm not. And I was way behind them. And I was like, how did you do this? So I had to run in and feign death to even get back with the group. Anyway, being on time to the pull, if not early, is like one of my kind of like little things I want to work on, just so I can have a tiny bit of setup. And like here, this one's always stressful because you're not supposed to kick the ones dominating. Like if I kick him, I'm screwing up, right? It looks like you should kick it, but you don't kick those ones until someone AoEs it. That's what I'm waiting for. But all the affixes and whatnot, I'm just trying to focus on like what mob I've been assigned and when I'm supposed to kick it, and I don't think I do it right. Luckily, our tank has a very long AoE silence. I binding shot, which does nothing. I think he's probably going to AoE stun. I guess not. No, it looks like a push. I don't know what's going on in here. There's the AoE stun. I see. A lot of the groups, as far as like CC, I feel like I kind of get carried. Because again, Alindra, AoE silence into AoE stun. A lot of the times I'm running with a feral. It's pretty common. They have an AoE stun. And then if there's like, an evoker healer, they're stunning and knocking. And I don't know. I feel like I don't contribute like the best. So, okay, 2 of these death blasts go off. Looks like I didn't have a kick, so I don't feel that bad that Gore died. But I am not running Wailing Arrow because I'm running my like mythic plus. I'm basically running my AoE raid build, which I have relearned how to play MM. MM changed a significant amount, and I did not get the memo on how to do it correctly after 10.05, but I know how to do MM again. But I've been playing a lot of BM and raid multi-target, which is new. So this is that build where having Wailing Arrow does nothing. Pretty much very little cases I would need to Wailing Arrow and raid. So I'm using that build. So I don't have Wailing Arrow, which is a mistake here. Certainly Wailing Arrow would be saving us a little bit of problems, especially because we're a tiny bit low on kicks. We don't have like all the cases. Actually, probably Gore has a lot more AoE stuns and Cap Toad. I actually don't know what shamans do, but I feel like they have something that probably handles it. But I certainly could have brought Wailing Arrow for like a tiny bit of DPS loss, would have been fine. So here's me running through the frontal. This is a warm-up key, by the way. This is the first key we ran, and I was playing Warlock before this a bunch on an alt, and I'm just like kind of warming back up into being a BM hunter, and walk right through a frontal. We're all joking that like, imagine if this was a real key, like a real 19 in any other dungeon. If you walk through a 19 fortified boss's frontal, you're easily one shot. So odd thing here, you let me know if I'm doing something wrong here. I killed the ad, right? And then we go to click it. And we go to click it. And we go to there's nothing there. I got nothing. I've done this boss many times. Not that much. I don't farm it as hard as everyone else does. Did I do something wrong? There was nothing to click. We were actually still joking about eating the frontal when I was in there. Then I was like, oh no, I'm also screwing this up. I was like, I also can't get out of here. What's happening? And Gore died to something. I don't know what. But yeah, this is kind of like a massive troll fest, but it's the warm up key, and we're all kind of, I don't know, still kind of messing around. It's a Shadowmoon Burial Grounds. I don't think any of us are stressing it. I don't think no one needs this for IO. We're just trying to push a 20 and try to have it not be Azure Vaults or AA, because in this comp we don't have a poison dispel, so AA boss, tree boss is kind of a no go on like I guess the higher keys for the tank. They get like 100 stacks of leaf aura or something, leaf poison. I'm not a tank, I don't know. Actually, I've been hit by one of those leafy dudes, I think once or twice, and yeah, so I remember seeing that leaf dot on me a couple times. So we're in the Nether here, and boss dies, and I guess you get stuck in here after that. So I saw the hand that time, but let me know, did I do something wrong? I'm gonna send this to them because I remember in the key I was like, I can't get out of here, and they were like, yeah, you kill your ad and click. I was like, yeah, I'm either dumb or like something's wrong. But the tank said that they've killed the ad so fast before that you never got the portal. So I was like, okay, maybe that's what happened here. Anyway, I have it recorded. That's kind of, one of them, I guess one of the reasons I'm posting this is like, that was an odd behavior. This place has lots of bugs in it. I don't know if that's one of them, but it kind of felt like it. Enhanced Shaman pumping. Oh, is this the pull actually? Okay, so here's the power of not clearing Thundering immediately, right? We are getting all our 30% damage buff there, and probably the once and only time I'll be top DPS in an AoE pull here, because again, I'm a BM hunter and we have an Enhanced Shaman. I think if Rack was Arcane, that's what he mains in Raid, just trying new stuff out, he would be top. Because like Arcane, if you have everything lined up and Touch of the Magi and everything like that, Arcane does insane AoE damage on like, is it 2 minutes? They're kind of like an MM hunter or something like that. It's not super long. Maybe it's 145. I forget the cooldown timings for Arcane. I played it for a tiny bit. But another one of the more stressful pulls. With this comp, they were saying that's like all of us can control our stuns, but apparently like Destrolock, because their legendary is like always stunning stuff, and then I think an Ellie Shaman and Ferals also have a very hard time not AoE stunning things for whatever reason, which is normally good, but just for that one pull, it's not exceptional. So bolstering here hasn't been much of a problem. That last mob there, it's a patrol, so it's kind of like, sometimes you pull it, and sometimes you pull it early, sometimes you don't, but you don't really have like a ton of control over it. I never noticed that you could actually see the boss platform on the left over there. That's how scenic. Running into this one, not a ton to say. My only thing is that I binding it, which I don't know if that's actually helping or not. And it's not sanguine, so it's not like hopefully the worst. But this is certainly like, oh, and this one right here, Wailing Arrow. I should run Wailing Arrow if we don't have a feral or people that like can't stop themselves from AoE stunning. They're just always stopping this stuff. We're letting a lot of these out, and I probably could have stunned that one, and everyone gets the bad. So I definitely am not contributing top CC in this run at all, and I'm also somehow slow as a hunter. I don't feel especially comfortable disengaging around here because there's like that extra spider pack, and I haven't tested if you can disengage over the wall and die. So I don't know. Maybe playing it a little too safe, and I do make it down here. I've definitely been so slow to this pack before, especially if Lindra's tanking, where this pack is dead before I get there. Kind of like this. Kind of like if you showed up now, it's pretty dead. So, I don't know. Trying to be faster, I guess, or I'm considering like what my alt is going to be here. In our raid group, we were actually talking about this here, that like everyone wants to reroll to melee because, they're quite good. We have multiple ranged characters that want to roll them to rogue, which I have a rogue too. But in a long term, like next tier, we can't all be melee probably. But so probably my favorite alt, if I'm not going to be a hunter next one, would be Demo Lock, which Demo is, it's not like, I don't think Warlock's like incredible in raid right now, but it is in Mythic Plus. And I just generally like Warlock. But that's another kind of slow class. I mean, you can put on like the Burning Rush and run around, and you could technically use your gates to get around, which is kind of scuffed. You kind of want to save them for like boss fights or skips or something. But they're another slow to party kind of range class. I would think kind of just generally the melee are faster. Being an Enhanced Shaman looks pretty awesome because you can just always Ghost form, and you're just always booking it, or of course Druid. But I don't know. It's something that I'm noticing as we're like, starting to like kind of min-max these dungeons, and it matters just like a little bit. is that if I'm just always slow to the pulls, it feels increasingly worse. I think someone got knocked off and then life gripped back in. This is a pretty clown car show kind of run here. As you'll see, we still time it. Spoiler alert. But the clowning has not ended. There's some more to come here. And I will say that the 2 void spawns at the end, I normally die to those. And I talked to my other fellow hunter in the raid, and we talk about this dungeon. We're like, oh yeah, so free, so easy, except the last 2 ads. He's like, oh yeah, I'm always dead. I just die and I just wait for them to res me. And especially on a fortified bolstering, this is not. It's like the whole dungeon is there's not. I don't understand the mechanics here because I don't even pay attention. Same with Court of Stars. I'm just like, whatever the tank pulls, I'm killing. I do want to be a little faster to the pulls here, and I should kick a little bit better. But like, I don't really know how this place works because everything dies so quick, even on a 19 fort. But we weren't able to push up into like a 20 or I don't think we have a 20 or 21 of this one yet, but certainly this would be the one to do. So this tech works where demon hunters and double jumpy people. So I think evokers too. Actually, I think I've done this on Alindra with Alindra when he's on his evoker. And you can just jump over that wall. It's pretty funny. And pull these on there. So this, if you don't die, is certainly a time savings. And this boss, when it doesn't do buggy, funny stuff, especially as BM hunters, sometimes your pets can't get to the back left spot. If he spawns there, your pets can't get there. I have it recorded, not on YouTube, but it's literally just like no path, and your pets cannot get out. So I don't know what's going on here. Again, I'm kind of don't understand this dungeon. I don't really pay attention, but apparently people are dead. Now, what I'm seeing on my screen as we go to assess this, I'm not doing like a real breakdown of this, is that I had my kick. And I am guessing that something in that pack over there, because I don't know what that pack does. I should probably figure it out. I have a feeling something in that pack went off. I probably should have kicked it. It's probably a slow, and someone got hit by the big worm. That would be my guess. But I still don't really know what's going on in this dungeon so much. And on a more, I guess, like, chill-paced run, I mean, this has been completely fine. That pull is completely reasonable. It's a nice savings, too. We do that, a lot of the times you do that pack solo. I'm like, how is the tank already down there? I was like, did you jump over? He's like, that's just how fast Vengeance Demon Hunters are compared to everybody else. He's there already. He released much earlier probably, but still, that is a considerable distance that he's made before I'm even in the cave. He's already down there. But that trash pack that has a lot of nasty kicks in it, a lot of the times you pull that on its own, and it's its own mess, and it's certainly like for coordinated groups that know what they're doing and aren't me. Yeah, you're pulling trash into bosses, and I think at 24 this place you will have to do this for time. Even here, you probably need to make up that time, but the kicks have to be on point, and I don't know exactly, and I'm still positioned too far away. You need to position that poop circle there so that melee can still get their uptime. Can they still hit him? I can't tell. Anyway, you're supposed to position that so that the melee can still hit it. That's like the one thing I know and didn't do. Oops. But yeah, that kind of like nasty trash pack. Usually, and a lot of times it's done on its own. So you get to like just concentrate on like, oh, there's like 4 kicks that have to go out and who's on what. And extra little chaos of the boss is just enough to sometimes throw either me off or everyone off or something like that. I'm not so sure. But anyway, we do recover this run. Imagine not timing a 19 Shadowmoon. That would be sad. That would be sad, but we come close. We come close to not making it. Again, not everyone's on their mains right now. I am, but I just am bad, so that's my excuse. But we're getting through this boss, and luckily it is fortified because this boss on Tyrannical is not hard. It just takes forever. And I think is it Fury Warriors? I think Gore has told me this before. There's certain, I mean, I lose frenzy stacks, but there's certain classes that like it takes so long for them to ramp to get to full damage, and then when he disappears, they lose their ramp completely. And I dropped this. I dropped the stuff in the back. I remember. I'm pretty sure I apologized for dropping it so far away. I was like, I think I was stuck behind some tornadoes, and I was like, oh, sorry, I dropped this in the middle of nowhere. But tornadoes, yeah. But this one's kind of wild because like the other two worms, this group/route doesn't kill them. I think they keep them up, so they're always dropping like all sorts of extra stuff on here. So like this one, we're gonna have to go hide in this little pie slice right here. So yeah, positioning is like just, if you're going for this strat, which certainly on a fortified, you can just skip them. Those worms aren't throwing that much damage out there. It's healable. But they do make the positioning, a extra level harder. There's a good drop right there. The one in melee, you can probably stand in it, but I've stood in like the circle there, and he still sucked you in even if you're in the circle because he's so close to you. So I don't like standing on the ones that close. But this is more of an ideal drop off here. Wherever melee hops in to not get inhaled, they're gonna have plenty of room. So I think our tank's in the water, but he can jump back out because Demon Hunter. This is normally my least favorite part, and I say that going into it, and people are like, actually, I think we all know that this is gonna suck, but I'm not sure everyone realizes how much. And they will remember now because this goes about as bad as it can go. And there's also some funny business going on here too. So we're heading right at Void Pulse. I'm hiding. You hide in the hole, right? Void Pulse. Hide again. I have taken no damage. Incredible. Here's where it gets a little harder though. Lots of circles. Circles are spawning, plus thundering. They're spawning in the hidey hole, so you can't go hide there anymore. You can't hide in the other one. So I turtle, right? We're going for the no damage Void Pulse. It's not going to work out for me though that way. So Void Eruptions, into a Void Pulse. I get that one too slow. Letting the pets do the work. Also letting our Fire Mage do the work. Get hit again. Still alive. Still getting healed. Another Void Pulse. I'm going to Fortitude. At this point, I don't know where the tank went. He's in the wall. And I think our mage is calling that they're evading. So you can't do that. So we're still learning. Another Void Pulse. I get hit. Everyone's dead. This is normally how this pull looks. Doesn't matter how coordinated it is. It's a clusterfuck. And I think he's bolstered now, so those hurt even more. And this is a chaotic pull here. It's just two mobs, but they make it real difficult. You're gonna hide. Hey, we hid. I'm still running into the wall. I look like I disconnected. And we got him, and I didn't die. Look at that. Didn't die to those mobs. I think that is literally a first. I usually run in here and I'm like, so where do we, and I'm dead. And I'm pretty sure I'm like right now gloating the fact that I didn't die. I was like, look at this. I'm an alive hunter right now. It's incredible. And I'm looking at this cinematic. I'm like, this looks so nice. And I'm like, oh yeah, aren't we supposed to? Yeah, I was watching the cinematic. So that's another ultimate troll. Imagine finishing it. You finish the whole cinematic. I don't know if they can even start the dungeon, the boss with you in there. Anyway, this has been a funny run. We've wiped. I probably haven't done a single kick the whole dungeon, but I didn't die to the void spawns. Pretty nice. So, I know which one Alindra likes to kill, but I'm still asking, and I know now. It's like whatever we're closest to, it's the second from the inside one. He goes for. So I gotta just send the beasts over there because I'm a BM hunter. Like I should just get right on to that. I lose nothing. I forget what happened to Zethir. And again, he's playing Disc and he's normally holy. And Shadow. Shadow actually destroys. Like he would be way out DPSing me if he was Shadow right now. But there are some like kind of unclear hitboxes with that purple stuff. I just run right through the boss, which is kind of sketchy, but it is kind of bad sometimes. Being the BM hunter, I am trying to bait those purple beams on the outside, and you need to immediately run out of them, which is an MM hunter actually sucks a lot because you'll be like mid aim shot, which is your main damage. And that beam comes on you and you're like, oh, I'd like to finish this aim shot. And you get chunked down for a ton of damage on tyrannical, not so much on fortified 19 or whatever. But so BM Hunter, just trying to take advantage of that and just be running. There's a couple dungeons actually where like if you're just always moving, you don't ever get hit by damage. I don't think I took any ticks from that, right? I'm just pre-running, right? So that's pretty much the only thing on this boss as a BM Hunter. Oh, say that wasn't great. So yeah, I took 1 tick, not too bad. But on tyrannical, that 1 tick hurts a lot. You just need to always be running side, not backwards. Always be side strafing. See, it might have hit me a little bit, but that's as much as you can get away from it. So again, I'm waiting too long. I know which one. It's that one. Let's go. So like I just send my snails in. I like snails this expansion. They're so glowy. How can you not use the snails? And I don't know what the melee thought process is here. I should kind of know as a rogue, but I'm a very new and terrible rogue, so I have no idea what's happening. But as ranged, we should hard swap like immediately. It's just like Mythic Aranog with the Flamey Boys. You gotta just swap immediately. That would be my job, is to run around back here, bait the circles, don't get hit though, and then immediately kill the wall. I mean, it's Shadowmoon Burial Ground. Everyone probably knows this, but I've certainly done it wrong before, and I've certainly gotten hit in the face with Malevolence a couple of times. But there it is. Oh, is that a Naku 20? Someone got a Naku 20? So I've never done this before. Oh yeah, I'm 412. Check it out. I'm 413 in my MM gear actually, which I'll be doing hopefully Heroic Razageth next week rather, as MM, because I figured out what I was doing wrong before. You actually have to hit salvo. Anyway, I've never done this key swapping thing. I don't push my own keys that much. Mostly because most of my guild has 20s and 21s, and I'm hard stuck on 19s, so no one runs my 19 keys. But I guess you can like re-roll this and get a different one. And I got AA. So we have a lot of AAs and other dungeons at 1920 that we don't want to do, but someone has a court, so that's where we go next. I'll check you on the next one.